Here I go, here I go, here I go. Yeah, here I go, here I go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of the Take Podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson, of course. And unfortunately, in this episode, the Dallas Cowboys, my Dallas Cowboys, got destroyed last night against the San Francisco 49ers. It was not a performance that I was really looking for at all. Every single aspect of the game, the Niners beat us. This is plain and simple. But here's the reality. I know everyone wants to throw around blame, like this guy did this guy did that. But the reality is, Dak Prescott is the reason we lost this game. Not our defense, not our coaching, Dak Prescott. 3 interceptions, 14 of 24 passing with a 46 QBR. Like, are you serious? You're joking. You're joking. And the plays that he threw interceptions on, one of them he overthrew the first pick, which it was a good idea, but he way overthrew Brandon Cooks. And then after that, we've got 2 interceptions that I really do want to break down. The first one, which was the second one of the game for him, he's staring down his receiver, right? You can see he's staring down Michael Gallup as soon as he gets the football. And on the other side of the field, you've got Brandon Cooks and CeeDee Lamb wide open. You got to scan the field. You can't just lock in on one guy. And Dak Prescott is a veteran. He's been in this league for a minute, and he should not be doing that. He shouldn't be doing that. Like, he should have totally learned. Like, how many times are we going to give this guy a pass? I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That interception shouldn't have even been thrown because he just made the wrong read. He just made the wrong read. And then we'll go to the third and final interception that he threw. Just look at the field. Again, he locks in on a receiver. Again. And on the bottom of the screen, you can see Michael Gallup beat his man. So if he would have scanned the field, he would have saw that. And that linebacker read Dak Prescott like a book. He was looking at his eyes the whole time. He knew exactly where Dak Prescott was going to go. He's very predictable. Like most great quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes, for example, would look off that guy and then go back to him. Like, I'm not an NFL quarterback by any means, but for me to be able to see that, it's a red flag of how Dak Prescott is playing. And it's over and over and over. This is how it was last year. It was exactly how it was last year. And you can see CeeDee Lamb after the play being like, bruh, I was literally open. Because he was. He literally had inside leverage on Fred Warner. He literally had it. He was right there. Like, I'm not sure what Dak Prescott is seeing here, but it's just gotten to the point where it's gotten so ridiculous that I don't even know if I'm going to watch another Cowboys game this year. Like, we need to bench Dak Prescott. We have to bench him, and we have to see what we have in Trey Lance. I don't care if Trey Lance is good or bad. I just want to see what we have because Jerry traded for him for a reason. Let's see what he is truly made out of. Now, who knows? He may be able to do better or he may do worse. But what does it hurt? It doesn't hurt at all to put Trey Lance in and experiment with that. And the reality is, with Dak Prescott as our quarterback and with this current team, we are not Super Bowl contenders. The Cowboys are not Super Bowl contenders. We have proved that last night because the San Francisco 49ers are the best team in football. And you know what's even scarier is that they didn't even have Randy Gregory, who they just traded for, on that pass rush. Like, that is just, that 49ers defensive line is insane. Like, you could tell, like, when you get pressure on Dak Prescott, he panics. He panics every time. He can be fine with a good pocket, but actually, I don't even know if I can say that because his third interception, he had all day to throw, but he got rid of the ball too quickly. Too quickly. Like, I never say that. I never say a guy gets rid of the ball too quickly. But he did. He did. He could have waited back there. He had great protection, but he just didn't wait. He rushed it. He really did rush it. But back to the 49ers defensive line. They didn't even have Randy Gregory, who they just traded for, which is even more scarier because they're the best team in football. And Brock Purdy, he is not a bad quarterback. I know I've said some things about him in the past. He's got the best weapons. He does have the best weapons in the league. He does have a lot of guys to throw to. He does have CMC, the best running back in the NFL. But for a guy to be that successful in that system, you can't turn the football over, and that is exactly what Brock Purdy does. Yeah, he has all the time in the world, but that's just a credit to their team and their coaching. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. Like, he sets up Brock Purdy for success, and Brock Purdy goes out and executes, which is something Dak Prescott cannot do. And the thing is, like, I know people want to blame Dan Quinn somewhat because we gave up 42 points, but at the same time, our offense started out with 2 3-and-outs and 1 turnover. 1 turnover, and then our defense still forces a fumble and gives us the football back, only down 7 after all of that. Like, our offense has to do something. We have to capitalize. We can't just do nothing. Like, that's the problem. I know they gave up 42 points to them, but it's just our defense can only do so much. And our defense, quite frankly, was helping our offense out, bailing us out at the beginning of the game, keeping us in it. And our offense just couldn't respond. We just couldn't get it going. In our run game, like, don't get me wrong, I love Tony Pollard. I do. But we don't have any power backs. Like, this is where we would need Ezekiel Elliott. When we need a first down or when we need a touchdown in the red zone, that is where we need and miss Ezekiel Elliott. Like, I get it. Rico Dowdle, both Pollard and Rico Dowdle are both speed backs. They're good, but they're not power backs. So if the gaps of the offensive line are not there, they're screwed. They're screwed. Like, that's what it seems to be like. And it just didn't seem like we could get our rushing game going. I mean, we only had like 57 yards rushing, and Tony Pollard only had 29 rushing yards. Like, that just can't happen. Like, it's just so unacceptable. And then let's go to the coaching real quick of Mike McCarthy, okay? It's 3rd and 4, and we're in 49er territory. And it's in the second quarter, mind you. This is when we kick the field goal. We run the football with Rico Dowdle on 3rd and 4 when we need a first down. Like, what are we doing? And then there was a play earlier before that, or I think it was after that. We literally could have went for it on 4th and 1, but we decided not to go for it. That we have to go for it. We have to go for it. We can't settle for a field goal there. Like, we have to play to win. We can't just play to survive. And I feel like that's what the Cowboys continuously do. In the first 4 games, it did not show how good we really were. It showed how disruptive our defense could be, but our offense was never that spectacular. I mean, we were terrible in the red zone. We were literally 2 of 10 in the red zone until this game. Like, we were not good. We're not good in the red zone at all. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're going to win in the National Football League, you have to go down in the red zone and score touchdowns. You can't turn the football over, and you have to have good play calling. Like, the play calling in certain situations has just not been very good. And I don't think you should blame Dan Quinn here. Yeah, you can blame him a little bit because our defense gave up 42, but at the same time, he is the minority. Like, you cannot blame him 100%. You can't even give him the majority of the blame. I don't even think you can give the guy almost 10% of the blame. Like, most of the blame is on Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, and our entire offense. And to be honest, our offensive line was fully healthy, so he had protection. I get it. This 49ers pass rush is going to get to him at some point, but it's just like, we were healthy. There's no excuse. Like, for Dak Prescott, he has to have everything go right for him to be a good quarterback. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not even a Justin Herbert. Those guys elevate their team. They make everyone else around them better. And Dak Prescott just doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. That is why I think we should bench the man. Give Trey Lance a chance. Put him in the game. Why not? He's barely played any football. He's not that experienced. Give someone else a chance, because Dak Prescott, quite frankly, has really just been atrocious. Okay? Like, he just doesn't know what he's doing when he reads the field. Like, I don't know. He just locks into a receiver. I've never seen an 8-year quarterback do this. Never. And it just frustrates me so much. Like, I turned off the game after he threw that last interception. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm done. Like, what else? What else can we do? Our ceiling, guys, is NFC divisional loss. That is our ceiling. And our floor is missing a playoffs. I don't think we'll miss the playoffs. Unfortunately, I would love for us to, because then that would wake up Jerry and have him make some serious change. But I think Jerry's going to have something to say about this quarterback situation. I think you should, Jerry Jones. You should throw that question in there. You should ask Mike McCarthy, hey, what about Trey Lance? Should we give him a chance? Dak Prescott, we've given him so many opportunities. We've given him 8 years of opportunities. It's just, I'm so tired of it. I'm not watching another game of the Cowboys this year if Dak Prescott is our quarterback, because I already know what's going to happen. We're good mid at our peak, but we're below mid, or we're so mid it's not even funny when we're not playing well. Like, I just, like, ugh. Like, I don't think, like, I was throwing things around last night. Like, I was angry. But credit to the Niners. I mean, they're a very good football team. They're my Super Bowl favorites right now. They're just the most complete. I just don't think anyone can beat them, really, in the NFC, really, besides the Eagles. It's tough. I mean, it's really tough as Cowboys fans right now. And I'm trying to stay loyal. I really am, but I want change. I'm tired of the same old stuff. This is the same stuff as last year. This is the same stuff as the year before that. This is the same thing. Like, Dak Prescott has not gotten any better since his rookie season. He hasn't. Like, honestly, his best season of his career was his rookie year, because no one knew how to game plan for him yet. But now he's just so darn predictable. That's his problem. Like, that was a massive rant, but, like, I just want you guys to understand that we are not a good football team. We'll make the playoffs. We may win a wild card game, but beyond that, we're not winning a Super Bowl. We're just not. And I was saying at the beginning of the year that we could. Like, we do have the roster, but we just don't have the quarterback. Like, that's the reality of it. And for the 49ers, I mean, they just, as long as they don't have any injuries, they will be in the Super Bowl. Injuries are the only thing that'll kill the Niners' Super Bowl chances. That is the only thing. They can only stop themselves. And last night, they just looked insanely dominant. Christian McCaffrey, I mean, he showcased his versatility. And he didn't even have that great of a game, but still, he's still a handful to deal with. And our secondary is just lacking. Like, the Cowboys secondary, without Trayvon Diggs, you can just tell we're missing Trayvon Diggs right now. And then Jerrion Kersh, I mean, he had a big play with McCaffrey. He made that forced fumble, but he's out of position a lot other times. And he's just not making good decisions when it comes to trying to read what the 49ers offense was doing. And we were literally, like, letting them do whatever they wanted. Like, 49ers receivers were getting open like it was nobody's business. Like, it was like we didn't even have a secondary out there. Like, you might as well just be throwing with no defense, Brock Purdy. You might as well. Like, it was just disgraceful. Like, I was really expecting us to put up a better fight than that. Like, seriously? Like, if we lost like 31-20, I honestly wouldn't have been that mad. But, like, since we lost 42-10 and we really had mistakes, it's just even more frustrating. Like, it just gets to the point where I don't even want to talk about it anymore. And we play the Chargers next week, and I don't think we're going to even win that game. But honestly, you know what? I could see us bouncing back, giving us Cowboys fans some false hope, and then it's over after that. I mean, yeah, guys, I'm going to have to end the podcast here because it's just been so frustrating. Of course, I'm your host, Jackson Burleson. Please give me some comments down below of what you guys thought of the game. Any feedback, that'd be great. But this has been another episode of the Take Podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson. I appreciate you guys listening to my rant on the Dallas Cowboys. Thanks.
Yeah. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my heart up on ice.